It's kind of it's so fake because there's no animosity at all.
And we're live. All right, I think
between me and you.
Beefloaf's got the question for tonight. Let's. What is the question?
So the question is, it's an extension of a question from the Sunday Soap from Twitter follower Hayes. He wanted to know. Yeah, he asked what we learned about ourselves this year, and then, so we answered that in the soap. Then the second part of the question was, what did we learn about the other guys this year, doing all the 108 stuff?
So can we?
I don't even remember answering that question.
We answered what we learned about ourselves. So I learned that in the soak, I said that I learned about myself that when you have to give a lot of takes, you're going to give a lot of wrong takes.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think, can we both give the Beefloaf one? Because I think we both.
I think it's the same thing.
Like, we found that he thrives on chaos.
He does.
It's amazing. Like he only wants to produce chaos. Like that's his main goal. When we're
But then he'll walk it back a little bit.
We're talking about anything. He's like, "What if I ask this?" It's like, well, you just want people to get angry, and it's you enjoy it. You just admit it. You enjoy the chaoticness of what Twitter can bring.
I do. I like to see how twisted people get, but there's also an element of. I shouldn't let people peek behind the curtain, but there's also an element of when you're trying to do a brand thing, you sort of need to do something different than everybody else. So if I say the exact same fucking shit that everyone else is saying, who the fuck cares, right? So I wait until there's something where I'm like, you know what, I kind of think a little differently than this. Let me just throw this idea out into the world. Let me Hail Mary this shit out there and see what happens. And I'm fine with the responses. I just don't like. It's very rare that someone will respond to something that I said and use whatever colorful language I have where it would affect me in any way, shape, or form personally. I just don't care. Like I really generally
don't care about you.
You know, like so that for me to be doing that, it's a perfect fit because it just no one's really gonna hurt my fit. You know what? The only things I ever worry about is when I'm writing a blog and I'm doing a lot of math stuff. I do worry about someone who is very adept at that sort of statistical analysis. Someone like Pinos coming and saying, you fucked up this part of this thing.
Yeah.
I'm way more worried about that than giving some take that I think is semi-reasonable and people shitting. I just don't care.
Yeah. And you also are not just putting those takes out to be controversial. You're putting it out because you actually believe it.
I'm putting it out because I think sometimes, you'll see some popular opinion go one way, and Treasy, you guys are both sort of like this. You both sort of look at it and be like, is that really right? I'm not sure if that's right.
Yeah.
I want to think about this. Maybe the other way has some validity too. I'm less hesitant to throw it right out there and say, let's see if this has some validity. You guys are a little more measured than me about that. But.
So can I do a My Suck Summer?
Yeah, go for it.
So the thing that I learned about My Suck Summer is that some of the I don't know this guy, I don't know about this, is very bullshit.
Yeah, total bullshit.
Like, My Suck Summer knows a lot more than you think.
Yes.
But he has incredible gaffes. It's like I don't like to talk politics, but the guy that comes to mind is like a Joe Biden, right? Where like you obviously know this guy's smart. He knows what he's talking about in general.
That's not true.
But then he has like these moments where he says something insane, and you're just like, "What a moron!" And then we jump on that because it's fun to jump on that, and we fuck with him, and we're like, "Oh, Robinson Cano! You didn't know Robinson Cano was on the team." Like that type of thing.
That was actually fair, I'll be honest with you. he did shit in that game, so I get it.
But we jumped on it and we had a lot of fun with it. But like for the most part, like, don't think that like My Sock Summer doesn't know shit about what's going on in the game. Or, the fact that we go like, oh, he doesn't know who this player is. Like, he knows fucking all the players in the system. He's on top of it.
He knows tons of shit, and he's just playing it up.
Plays that up a little bit because he knows that we'll cover for it. Like, that's what I learned about him this year The years before, I kind of thought like, oh man, maybe he is a little bit Rube Baker right here.
Stupid.
Stupid. No, not stupid, but just not paying attention to that kind of thing.
It's a premeditated hack, sort of. What
it's become obvious to me that like if you don't have a strong opinion on someone, you're just gonna go like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
I think to me part of it too is like you kind of want to drag it back to we get a little too granular on things that maybe don't matter to the average fan.
Yeah,
you get too far down a path of talking about certain things that are just like way off the radar of the average fan. The average fan is just like observing games, watching games, pieces of games are entertaining. They get a visceral response from certain players, and like a lot of the focus should be that. It's okay to dig into the numbers here and there, but if you're all going just strictly digging into the numbers, that's not how 90% of the people ingest the thing. So I think it's good that he makes sure that we keep the balance back. We don't sort of, and I think you do a good job of that, Treasy, too, in different directions. But like that's my Saxon is very careful to like rein in. If I'm going a little too far, he's very careful to rein in with humor and fucking bomb me.
His Paw Patrol hate is for real.
No, that's real.
That's
100% real.
100% real.
If I say something about my Sock Summer, what I would say, it's something I kind of knew already, but it's just getting reinforced more and more. He's got the shoot ethos down more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And like we have some really like tipping point type things like the Brooks thing and the Beer Fest, but it's even little shit as much as like, no, Beef, you're taking a fucking picture with Frank Kaminsky, all right? Like, he forces me to do shit. And like, the story of my life is I put myself near people like you. You're just the best version of it. Who will force me to like do some shit that you don't. Your shy self don't want to do it.
To step out of your.
But he's gonna force me to fucking do it, so I gotta do it. You know, like. And so, like, he's got a lot of that mentality. He's got a lot of, like...
You force him to do things that he doesn't want. That's exactly what you want to hear.
My natural inclination.
Like, go back to the Tyson there.
We met in prison.
But you are careful about this part, though. Like, with the Brooks thing, with the Beer Fest. You wait till we're ready or sort of deserve it. It's not like you're... lobbing Hail Marys, you're just cognizant of this is where this is at. It's time to do this.
Yeah.
And you'll push it faster than Treasy or I would. You know, and that's a good thing because it keeps moving the process along, keeps pushing the whole thing. I think it's a really good thing.
Plus, we had I felt like we had a good angle to get Brooks on the podcast. Like, it wasn't like, hey, we want to talk about how fucked up your organization is. It was, hey, we want to talk about these two events that are going to be, you have an inaugural Beer Fest, which we have a lot of friends and fans that are beer people. And we had the Sox Fest that was going to be changing. And that was something that, hey, let's find out some more about this. You know, and then you guys came in and added your guys' twist to it too, and had questions for him, that were not what I would necessarily ask either. So it worked out really well. Like that was just, that made sense. And we had known Brooks personally for a year, so it was time to fucking make him fucking come out, like lay down with us and shoot the shit. And I get a lot of response from these guys about how cool Brooks is and how they didn't know how cool Brooks was. And how he seems so normal and so easy, and I'll say this: there was not an act, by Brooks whatsoever. That is who Brooks Boyer is. Like, he's just down. Like, he was, how can you work for the Chicago Bulls for that many years and win championships with them, and then not win them, but you know what I mean? Be part of the championships, and then go right into a new job and be a champion right away then too, Right. The man has 4 championship rings across two professional sports. That's fucking insane. That's a big deal.
I mean, and you're totally right to say, people say, oh, he seems cool in there. He's exactly the same before we record, and he put no limits on any of that. We threw an agenda, and we said, we'll give you all the questions if you want them. And he said, no thanks.
Yeah.
Just ask him.
He's like, everything seems fine.
Yeah, he was good with everything. So, like, there was no like, well, that's out of bounds. You can't ask that or whatever. He let us just fire at him. So that was that was extremely cool. My personal opinion.
Yeah, no.
So I think
he was over down.
we both got beef loaf. Beef loaf got you.
Well, no, I got a beef loaf.
You got another
too.
beef loaf? Get another
I've
beef loaf
learned
then.
that beef loaf will tweet anything that he thinks about at that time. And he could be like, "Yo, my fucking big toe looks swollen," and he will tweet that shit. Or he will say, "I just saw this meme about a dog and broccoli, and fuck that dog." There's like absolutely no filter on what you're going to tweet because you just tweet anything that comes across your mind. And it's funny because I'll be out on my balcony or I'll be doing something and I'll be like, I have this thought, I should tweet it, and then I'll think it through and then be like, I'm not gonna tweet it. You don't have that think through process, you just fucking fire that shit out there. And it goes hand in hand with your approach, I feel like, to our content, which is let's just make a shitload of content and put that out there, or which what we've been doing for like the last 2 years is just continually push shit out there and see what sticks.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something that you live and die by. Just push it out there, just see what happens. So, and it falls into the chaos shit too.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought of something that's really fucked up. I'm gonna put it out there and fuck other people up too.
It's sort of like you had mentioned, like, this is like 2 years ago. Everyone needs to build their personal brand.
Oh yeah.
My personal brand is gonna just be whatever the fuck comes to my mind.
Yeah.
And lots of it will fail. I mean, dumb shit or whatever people don't care about, but occasionally something will resonate out there, whatever. And I feel the same way about content. Like, I'm going to write something, and maybe only 10 people like it, and that's okay. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't have that filter when I'm on the internet.
Right.
In person, I'm way more cautious about all that.
Which is
stuff.
shocking to me
That's
because
true.
when you look like Hito Turkoglu, I would assume you have extreme confidence. Just
In my
exuding
excellent
from
looks.
you, but I guess you don't. I think the only one left to talk about is me, so I'm going to end the show. So,
Fuck that.
No.
Fuck that. You want to go first?
Well, my funny one is that I learned
one.
that you like snuff porn.
Well, we all know.
I didn't know that.
Pellicula-based snuff, I prefer to call it.
And I don't know if you have the same one as me because it's possible. I didn't write this one down
Go ahead,
because I know how
too.
he looks over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Is that Treasy is still stuck in his 90s I'm too cool for this mentality. Like if it's popular or something that he's got something going on it, he's like
some of that.
I don't want to know about that because there's like if there's 15 people that are into it, I'm into it. If there's 1,500 people into it,
out. Exactly.
So like
I just typically don't know about that stuff.
No.
It was interesting. We were talking about this the day that you were sick. We're like, because I brought up to my sex summer. I said, what's interesting? I'm like, we're doing all this stuff, and and he at first you took it as like he's not pulling his weight. I'm like, oh, that's absolutely not fucking true. Because we'll get to what my thought is on Treasy. But I was like, Treasy hasn't hardly been involved in this hot dog thing at all. I mean, he hasn't been eating hot dogs or retweeting any of the stuff or like anything. That's fine. You don't have to.
I retweet the stuff.
Okay, you
I
do.
retweet
Okay.
the other people.
Yeah.
I can't do the hot dog thing. Like, I'm bad at it. Like, I'm incapable of doing the hot dog thing.
And then that's what my sex.
You weren't the only one that we were like kind of.
Oh no! You weren't the
There's
only
a couple
one.
other people.
But we were having
I do fail when we eat the hot dogs. I do fail to upload them and
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Basically,
And we think it's because you think you're too cool, and I think that comes from your '90s mentality. If it's too popular, I can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
I have to do my own thing.
It's
like
not
I have
that.
to have a serial eating contest.
I literally at the game I rarely take my phone out.
It's true.
That's true. You don't
because you have that fancy watch now. You just look at
you don't take pictures of shit. You don't tweet. You don't do hardly any of that. That's true.
It's true.
Yeah, it's because I'm always double fisted.
When you're that backed up, if you move, a beer's gonna go flying. You can't even bother with that shit.
I thought instead of double fisting, it's because I'm always getting fisted, and I was like,
whoa, hello.
Keep that behind the paywall.
That's more Bulls games.
So I had two things. The first one was it was tangentially related to the draft you said we shouldn't do. I realized that like for you have certain things that you're like you feel very strongly about, and then like there'll be a really dumb, weird idea that Jacob or my sex around bring up, and you're like, go ahead, I don't care. Like you have like there's like a certain filter, and you're like,
there is some,
I don't give a fuck about any of that. Go ahead, whatever. And then you're like, no, we are not fucking doing that. And I have a hard time pegging it.
It typically involves my participation. if you're saying like, hey, we're going to do this, and if I don't like it, I'm going to go, no. If it's like, I'm going to do this, and I don't care for it, go ahead. Do whatever you're going to do.
You do you.
If I don't have to be a part of it, that's fine.
And the other thing I learned this year was that you can pretty much host and produce a podcast by yourself. And I wonder why you haven't had one for like 5 years. Like you can do all the parts of it, and you know lots about lots of stuff. And I was like,
lots of stuff.
When this was going on, I was thinking, how does Tracy not have like 3 podcasts right now? And like this is just the 4th one that he does with us.
He can't do that.
I've no desire to do it. It's like, and it's a funny thing is like when we were coming up with doing a podcast, right? Like I had no idea. I was like, I don't know what to do a podcast. I just had to look it up on the old interwebs and figure it out.
Yeah.
But like, once I figured it out, I was like, okay, this isn't all that complicated. But I was also like, I don't want to do this for anything else. Like, I don't have anything else that I want to talk about for like an hour or 30 minutes even. Like that would go that much. Like you see, like the only the main passion in my life other than this would be music, and like we do this show every week or every other week, and I have 3 minutes that I want to give you guys about music. Mm-hmm. So like there's not another topic where I'm like, let's do this, and there's not another like I just don't want to sit around with and like I want to sit around and talk with people about other things, but I just want to do it at a bar. Like I don't want to record it and go
it's not
workish.
Stuff.
Yeah, it is, you know. So yeah, I mean,
we ruined your sock stuff because we're like, hey, let's do a podcast, and then
I
have to talk about it. It's like work.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just
I know.
It's but at the same time, like I'm not passionate about anything else to the level of doing all this.
Yeah.
Of recording all this.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure we all have different talents where we're like, we could do this.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm sure you could create graphics for every fucking NBA team that like a new graphic for a new city jersey to show like every other.
No one would
NBA
like
team.
it, but yeah, I could do it.
But nevertheless, like,
But you wouldn't want to spend the time.
You don't want to spend the time.
Oh no!
Right? Like,
oh god, no.
And so that's kind of how I feel.
I want to be like, to that point, I want to be like a guest on somebody's podcast and talk about something not Sox related. Like, you know, like, the collectible market in this, or how you make money doing this, or, you know, that kind of stuff. But then I also, and stuff we've talked about, it's like, I don't want to give away what I'm doing. Like I found a niche that it's actually working. So like, I'm gonna ride this niche out until like it doesn't make any money anymore, and then I'll go on.
Then you can talk about it.
I mean, like, hey, you know what you should look into? Ralph Lauren polo shirts. Those are really good. You should buy that shit up cheap.
I mean,
It's
that's
like the gamblers.
I was gonna say that crazy.
100%.
That thought process is the essence of a post I'm going to do about the MVP machine.
Okay.
Because you don't really give away all your secrets until the shit don't really work anymore,
Right.
or everyone knows it.
Yeah, it's
Right? You kind of don't throw it out there until it's like, oh, it's finally available.
it's like the gambling forums. Like,
Yeah.
there used to be this game at this place that you get paid out like crazy, but they got rid of that because they realized that there was professional gambling.
So now you can tell the story.
And you tell the story, but like no one could actually benefit from it. You benefited from it, and now you're telling the story to benefit again.
Right.
Yep. 100% same.
Now you can use it as an example of like,
Right.
oh, here's how to find such thing, but it doesn't work.
But then
it's not perfect.
someone has to actually find it.
That's true.
Anything else? I think that's it.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace. We'll see you soon.